So I'm Christina Howard. I'm the program coordinator for the Physical Therapist Assistant program here at Lane. So to give you an example, the question that we asked was not, are we meeting accreditation standards? Because we had that feedback from our accreditors that we were. But what are we doing in our program that we can show that we're meeting contemporary practice standards? So you need to be agile in the career technical program so that you can meet the needs of employers, meet the needs of graduates now and in the future. And one piece of feedback and data we kept getting from our graduates and from our employers was that they needed our graduates to have a specific skill, and that's manual therapy, so using their hands to mobilize joints in particular. And that's not a standard in the curriculum for physical therapist assistant education. We are allowed to add to our curriculum as long as we're meeting the minimum standards. We have to show evidence of that. And we also have to show evidence that if we're going to go outside of the curriculum that we have data to support that. So we had data to support that, and the program review process allowed us to really revise some of our courses and the learning activities for our students so we could respond to those employers and those graduates who need those skills. Specifically, we had employers saying we would hire more PTAs if they had these manual therapy skills, but it's not in the minimum set of criteria that we need to have in our curriculum. So now we had some legs underneath us through program review to say this is what our employers want. We have the data to support it. This is how we can meet contemporary practice standards and be responsive. So as a result of being able to provide that data through program review, we were able to get funded for curriculum development. So that's really how we use program review to move the program forward in a way that was outside of accreditation standards, but gave us support from the institution to do that through funding through the curriculum development. The other thing that we want to look at, which is, so in year 2 for our implementation report, that was our first priority in an implementation plan. Once it gets reviewed, you sit down with your leadership team and you make a list of priorities. You know, what is the first thing we need to do of all the things we identified, and what's our next thing, and look at priorities. Do they require resources? And health professions is a limited admissions program, and it's competitive, and I always wrestle with that because we have so many students who want to come in and we don't have enough spots. So really looking at, you know, what are our admission processes and what can we do to make sure that we're attracting, admitting and retaining a student body that is going to reflect the needs of Lane County. So that is also a priority, but because of how the college is approaching kind of equity lens and professional development, we made that our next priority. So when we look at years 3 and 4 of our implementation plan, that's where we're going to be putting our focus. So it's really created some structure for us to look closely at particular things that we think will improve our program holistically. It's been a very positive experience for me to work with those individuals because everybody really wants to do the best work for students, and also to make sure that we elevate the level of teaching and learning that goes on here at Lane in a way that makes it accessible to everyone and allows us to move work to a place that we want it to go. It just creates a structure for that and a visibility for it. I've learned so much about different academic programs just from sitting on academic program review committee and listening to all the amazing work that's happening that more people should know about.